Hello, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk, this is going to be a two-part video. One part explaining this Hoberman Sphere, a breathing sphere, breathing ball, and the second part will be me using the breathing sphere, just demonstrating a few rounds of breath practice. This is a toy you can buy, made by an engineer. I'll put some links on where to find it, but it's called a Hoberman Sphere. I use this with my kids' classes. I also have thought about using it with adult classes, and I haven't tried that yet, so maybe I will. And my kids love this. They ask for it all the time, and the way that I teach it to them is I introduce them to it, I let them handle it, feel it, get used to opening and closing it. I give them a little bit of instruction on how to open and close it. That way I just don't hand it to them and expect them to be able to use it. A lot of times they'll get it bound up and they'll get stuck and they feel uncomfortable if everyone's looking at them. So generally holding on to the squares on the sides makes it a lot easier. Hands are opposite. I have the students sit somewhere comfortably so they can sit with a nice straight back, holding the sphere somewhere in front of them. And I talk to them about the qualities of the breath. Okay, so we talk about inhaling slowly, exhaling slowly. We talk about breathing through the nose and go through some of that. And then we relate it to the breathing sphere. We talk about getting themselves ready, so they inhale and they open, and then exhaling and they close. And we talk about how the entire inhale, it's real slowly, so you're inhaling, 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 top of the breath, then begin the exhale and move throughout the entire length of the breath, and the Hoberman Sphere closes as they finish breathing. So we just move back and forth, inhale, exhale. I usually count for them. I encourage them to count in their heads, and so in the beginning I count out loud, and then later on I let them count in their heads, and I count with them because sometimes they lose track just like we all do. So for example, inhaling, I'd say inhale 1, and then their exhale would be 2. Inhale 3, exhale 4, inhale 5, and exhale 6. And then I usually, depending on the class and the students, they might do 3 full rounds of breath per student, 5, sometimes even 10 when I just have a few students or we have a need for that. So you'll decide how you want to use it. I highly recommend using this. Kids love it. It's a great visualization for them to start thinking about their breath. You can tie in lessons about the lungs and the diaphragm expanding, talk about balloons filling up and deflating. However feels good for you with your kids, but this works really, really well. This brings us to part 2 of the video, so I'm just going to go through a few rounds, inhaling and exhaling. So this would be something that you can sit down, get yourself ready, follow along, breathe with me while I inhale and exhale with the breathing ball.